Blondie, hey, you realize we might be risking our lives?
Yeah. And if I get killed, you'll never get your hands on all that beautiful money.
Greetings, Dwayne. In fact, let's just clear the air. I'm Dwayne and you're not, okay? All right. Let me check my driver's license. Yep, I am Dwayne. All right. You know how I always say I'm going to make this really short video? Well, I promised someone I was going to make them a short video, and I'm going to rip through this thing so fast your head is going to spin like Linda Blair. In fact, you'll probably think I'm Cal Worthington, and if you don't know who Cal is, then you never lived in Southern California and couldn't sleep late at night. Alright? Alright. I think there's a guy in New York. It's kind of like Cal. Crazy Eddie or something. Alright. Anyway, here's what this video is all about. It's all about the concierge trade alerts. Alright? We did a 3-year public beta test on Twitter and Seeking Alpha and StockTwits, every place except our own site. Because on our own site, people might say, well, it's their site. They can change, they can put any date or time or whatever, they can rewrite history. All right, so we did it on third-party sites, mostly Twitter, because of the wide distribution, ease of use, etc., and yada yada. Okay, now all that stuff is still there. If you want to keep scrolling back and scrolling back and scrolling back and scrolling back, well, you'll find it. And you'll find the ones that I've done since then. Every now and then I'm sitting at my desk working late at night, and I see a trade that it just looks so good, so obvious that I feel like I have to share it with somebody. If I go downstairs and tell my wife, she'll just give me this blank stare. So I give it to you guys. Some of you actually even send thank you notes, emails, tweets back. What do you call them? Text messages. I appreciate that. All right. So anyway, I promised a really short video, and let's get ripping. Now, I recap the concierge trade alerts every single day on the radio show. Okay? I kind of do them throughout the show, and then I try to do a recap right at the very end. But sometimes it can be a little disjointed, and, well, maybe you don't want to sit through 2 hours of radio to get, the meat off the bone. The first thing that I do before I start recapping, and I'm going to try and do it right now. My computer is a little boggy. I have some software that's been downloading for 3 days. I can't tell you what it is because it's going to be a surprise, but it's going to be awesome too. But I never heard of software that took 3 days to download, and I was so freaked out I went out on the internet and I Googled the name of this stuff, and everybody else was saying how freaked out they were that it took that long to download. But then when it was done, it worked beautifully. So I can't wait. All right, this is the email that went out last night, Sunday evening, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 27th day of August 2017. Okay, as you can see, I send them out every night. I just keep adding onto the list until we get to the end of the month, and then I start a new list. But every day I drag this out on the radio show so that everybody can take a snapshot, so they know I'm not pulling their leg. All right? All right. So on the S&P 500 E-mini futures last night, this vertical line that you'll see, that represents the time the alerts went out. See, if I come click over here, it says 1930, And I just showed you that the alerts went out at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay? So, we said to consider selling 24.40 if you got the chance. Well, you did. And the first move down was good for 2.5 points. Now, some people are well aware that 2.5 points in the S&P can make you a very good living. Now, if you're new to trading, you probably just went, 2 points, that's $100. What am I going to do with that? Buy a bus pass so I can go look for a job? No. You keep saving up those little $100 bills until you have saved up more than enough money to add another contract. And then we have a calendar, and you'll know on what day you add the third and the fourth. It's called a 24/20 blueprint. It's designed to take you from 1 to 20 contracts over a period of 24 months. Now, if one contract and 2 points in the S&P makes you $100, 10 contracts and those same 2 points make you $1,000 a day. And if you earn your way up to the 20 contract level, those same 2 points are worth $2,000 a day. That's before commissions, of course. And on a 5-day week, that's 10 grand. So with 52 weeks in a year, it's about $500,000. So am I sitting here telling you that you're going to make $500,000 next year? No. Absolutely not. I'm just telling you what the possibilities are, okay? Because of the S&P 500 E-mini futures, the fact that it only cost $500 to buy or sell an S&P 500 E-mini contract. At the current price of $24.45-ish, $24.44, one S&P 500 E-mini contract is worth about $122,000 of best-of-breed S&P 500 E-mini equity. Okay, if you walk into your broker's office and throw 5 $100 bills down on his desk, and you go, "Hey man, what can you get me for this?" He'll look at you and say, "Well, I can get you about 6 shares of Gilead Sciences. They got a huge cancer contract deal, and it's going to be awesome." And you're like, "Whoa, 6 shares?" He goes, "Well, yeah, it's $75 a share. But I've been doing business with you forever." You know what? You're right. Give me the $500 and I'll get you 12 shares of Gilead. Keep in mind, though, you got to pay me for the other 6 shares, and I got to charge you interest until you get me paid. That's what your buddy the broker says, all right? But with the S&P 500 E-mini futures contract, you're going to control. Well, take a Bitcoin, one Bitcoin, $4,500. What's it worth? Well, according to the internet, $4,500. So you pay $4,500 to buy something that's worth $4,500. Okay. With the S&P 500 E-mini futures, you pay $500 to buy something at the current price, which is worth $122,000. Well, that's a good way to lose your home and your airplane and your Cadillac. No, it's not. We always trade with a hard stop. Okay, so whatever losses we could entertain on a particular trade, they are controlled by where we place our hard physical stop loss. If you use a mental stop, you don't have a stop. You're a gambler. And whatever method you're using to trade, you don't have faith in it. You don't really believe that you have a definable edge. What you have is hope. And hope, while I I'd like to buy the world some hope. Hope's a wonderful thing, but it's not a good trading strategy, okay? People who are 100% positively, absolutely confident that they have a definable edge in the market will use a physical hard stop, period, okay? I'm going to tell you, if you don't use a hard stop, the day's coming when either A, you blow up your business, or B, they carry out of the office on a stretcher, or C, both, okay? All right, so if you sold 24.40, the first move down is good for 2.5. Now, important prices and important areas are almost always tested. As you can see, price got one tick back above the trigger. And what does that mean? It means we got a whole new trade on our hands. This time it drops 3 3/4 points. Okay? Now in that email last night, we also said if you have the opportunity, I want you to consider buying 24.46. If you heeded that advice, the market made 3 1/4 points available. So 2.5, 3.75, 3.25, and 2. We already covered the fact that 2 points a day in the S&P, once you earn the right to trade multiple contracts, can provide a very nice living. Okay? All right. So that's it for the S&P. See, I told you it was going to be quick. The Dow. It'll be as quick as my computer moves. Okay, I just requested the Dow chart. Let's see how long this is going to take. Oh boy. Hey, you know what? I haven't looked at the charts since I ended the radio show today. Look at that gap lower open. Wow. This is going to be interesting. Huh. I'm glad I'm late doing the zones tonight. Actually, I should have done them early, I guess. Alright, we're finally on the Dow. So this is the Sunday night Globex Open. And one more time, the vertical line is when we sent out the email. Okay? On the Dow, we said, if you get the chance, sell 21,795. First drop was good for 27 points. Second drop was good for 45 points. Two-sided action. We triggered on the long side per the instructions. The market made available 29 points. And then back on the short side, 39. Back above the trigger, 38. You see what I'm talking about? How the important prices, important areas are almost always tested. Now, this is not some new thing. Michael and I first published the weekly trading zones, which only go to CFRN partners, or those who've been grandfathered in. I might have said weekly trading zones. I meant concierge trade alerts. Only go to the concierge trade alert clients and those who have been grandfathered in. Okay. All right. Now, just on the S&P, if your goal is to make 2 points a day on the S&P, you think you could do that? See, I don't know. Look at how low the S&P gapped. Man, I got to go figure out what this is all about. Okay, the Dow, we just covered that. Next is soybeans. Soybeans pay just like the S&P. $12.50 a tick, 4 ticks to a point, $50 per point. 2 points in the S&P will make you your daily goal of $100 per contract. Okay? All right. Now, the email said to consider buying 9.49. It ran up 1.5 points. You probably just ended up getting stopped out. You know? I'm just going to stopped out. The email also said, if you have the chance, sell 941. Okay. That dropped 3 points at $50 per point. Okay. Now, I don't think I've said this, but we never get out at the swing high or the swing low. Why? Because we trail our stop. And anytime you trail your stop, I don't care what kind of trading you're doing, if you trail your stop, you're going to always leave a little something on the table. Okay? You just got to figure out how you're going to deal with it and reconcile it. You can't come back and look at the charts later and throw up in your wastebasket because you only took $700 out of the trade and there was actually $1,400 available. Okay? You got to get over that. Okay? So soybeans, you had a stop out, and then it dropped 3 points, $50 per point. Maybe you took $100 out of it. How about that? Okay? All right. Next, bonds. Bonds are dangerous. James Bond was dangerous. Look at that. Wow. James Bond was a dangerous man, and trading bonds is a dangerous business. Okay? This has dropped, not enough to even talk about. This dropped 4 ticks. That's $125 per contract. There's 32 ticks to a point. There's 32 ticks to a point. Each tick pays $31.25. So if the bonds were to go from, say, 156 to 157, that would be $1,000 per contract. Okay? Now, based on the email sent last night, there was no long trade on bonds today. Okay? All right. So, we've covered everything there. We do 8 markets each night. So the next one on deck will be crude oil. The email last night said to consider selling 47.65. Now, the trades that have the least amount of risk typically are the trades that have the greatest profit potential. That's just the universe being kind, I guess. You know? I don't know. Anyway, if you sold 47.65 and you took profits down here somewhere when it started to pull back, what'd you have? It got down to 47.23. So 65 minus 23. It's late in the day. I'm not going to tax my brain. If only I had a brain. No, that's not how that song went. 65 minus 23. Was that the low 23? Yeah. 65 to 23, that's 42, that's $420 per contract. Okay. Now, I said that the S&P costs $500 to trade. That's a true story. All of the indices at our broker are $500. S&P, Dow, Russell, NASDAQ. The other stuff costs a little bit more. Okay. Now, important prices, important areas are almost always tested. Okay? Look at what happened here. This thing comes back. It gets 1 tick above the trigger. That's all it takes. And down we go. From 47.65 to 46.65. Did I get that right? What's 47.65 to 46.65? That's $1,000 per contract. That's what the market made available. We do have a rule of thumb that says, hey, anytime that one instrument gives you $1,000 per contract in one day, take the money and put the mouse away. The rubber band will only stretch so far. Price will always revert to the mean. Now, we have a mean, okay? We call it the BBC. Simply stands for bull bear cross. The trade alerts can be traded with or without the CFRN indicators. I'm going to lay them down on just one market to give you an idea of how they can assist you, okay? It's typically on the trades that go for a pretty good run that they are the most beneficial. Now, I should have known it was going to take a while. And the little wheel goes round and round. Yes, I really do want to apply the CFRN indicator set. Okay. Michael and I probably coded and put together over 100 indicators since we got together back in 2006. I launched CFRN as a Christian financial talk radio station in 2005. I didn't know that it was going to lead to teaching traders how to trade, but our audience quickly let us know that that's what they really wanted from us, so we decided to give them what they want, okay? And he and I got together, man, and we were just, coding up a storm, and man, we had so much stuff on our screen you could barely see price. We had to get extra screens for the stuff, and we realized we were going in the wrong direction. Everybody that told us, oh, you need this one more filter and this one more oscillator and this one more indicator, they just were trying to sell us stuff. So when you create something, when you code something, it's like your baby, and to get rid of it, to throw it out, it's hard, man. I'm telling you, it really is. But it was a painstaking process. But everything that was not making us money, we kicked it to the curb. We only kept that which created low risk, high probability trade opportunities. Okay? And you probably think you know what you're looking at. Somebody's saying, oh, that's a stochastic and this is the... This proprietary stuff. It may look and behave like other things, but I trust you. I do trust you, but you can trust me. There is mathematical formulas running in the background that are weighing and measuring and lifting and sifting and painting us a picture that not only do we understand, but we can teach you how to understand it. It is so simple. Now, the first time you see it, it looks so complicated. But I'm telling you, it is simple. Okay? Simple's good. I do simple quite well. All right. Here is the deal. Okay? We said to sell $47.65. We dropped $1,000 per contract. And then it continued down to $1,452 per contract. I don't know where that zero came from, but let's get rid of it. $1,452 per contract available. Okay. Now, see how price is coming nicely down underneath what we call the CFMA1. Okay. And the step line. All right. Now, when that step line crosses on a short trade, when the step line crosses the MA1 and price crosses the MA1, that's usually a good indication that you need to be getting out of that trade. Okay? Now, the actual signal comes on the close of this candle, and look what a huge candle it is. I don't really want to give back that much. So when the step line crosses and I see my cycle turn blue and head north, and my CFMA1 turns blue and heads north, that's enough for me to get out. Okay, you can go with the rule of thumb. You can use the indicators. Here's what you're not going to do. You're never going to get out at the exact swing low or the exact swing high. If you figure out a way to do that, I will pay you, dead presidents, to teach me how. Okay? I'm serious about that. NQ. NASDAQ. What do we got? Okay, the email said consider buying 58.31. The first pop ran $240 per contract. We got back below the trigger, reset, $500 per contract available. Price gets back below the trigger just by a tick. That's all it takes. And it ran $280 per contract. Okay? Next, we have the Russell. Volume, the Russell has returned to the CME, but they're still messing with it over at the whatchamacallit. And so until everything's traded at the CME, we're not going to see volume return. We said last night, consider buying 1378. We ran up $250 per contract. We got back below the trigger, and we ran up to 1381.20. So that's about $150, and then we got back below the trigger and ran up $200. Okay. All right. Next is gold. What a sweet, sweet day for gold. We said to consider buying 1301. Okay. Now that's just something I put in there this afternoon. I was explaining something on the show, and I'm not going to attempt to explain it now, but we said to consider buying 1301. The market was so bullish it couldn't come back and test. Okay. So what do? You just trail your stop. Now, when I was recapping on the radio show, we had 1570, okay? By the time the market closed, we'd actually put in a high at 1317.80. Now, we said by 1301, so if we take 1 away from that, it's going to be $1,368. And we gapped higher on the open to, well, we opened at 1320.50, and we've been as high as 1330. Now, I think if you go back and actually watch the radio show today, I did some fib work, some price extensions, and if I remember correctly, I think you're going to see this number right here get nailed pretty close, kind of to the tick, all right? But you have a look, okay? I'll let you do a little research. Okay, so I guess that's all 8 markets. Gold, Russell, NQ, crude. We did do crude, right? Yeah, we did. And then bonds, soybeans, the Dow, and the S&P. Yeah, we did them all. The S&P, one last time, 2.5, 3.75, 3.25, and 2. The Dow, 27, 45, 29, 39, 38. Now these zones that you see on the chart, those are the weekly trading zones. These are the zones from last week. The zones have, as you can see, carryover power. Okay? If this zone was that powerful last week, it carries over into the new week. Okay? Partners get the zones every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. The community at large, the radio audience, I break them out to everyone on Thursday's radio show. Last week I broke them out on Monday. I'd never done that before, and I thought, why not? If you go to Google, and if you Google CFRN weekly trading zones. You'll find about 2 pages of articles, some long, some short, that I've written over the years. We first published the zones on December 14th of 2009. You'll find posts going back that far, and if you click the Images tab up at the top of the page, you'll find charts that go all the way back to 2009. And what was price doing back in 2009? It was going from zone to zone to zone to zone. The song remains the same. What price do today? Last night, zone to zone to zone to zone. We have partners that just trade the zones. True story. Most partners, I'm going to say 75%, use the zones as a backdrop to our indicator set and methodology. If you're a partner, you're welcome to use them however they serve you best. Okay? And again, on the beans, we had 3 points and a stop out. On the bonds, dangerous, that's 4 ticks, 120. Might as well call that a stop out too. It's not, but it's not anything to get excited about. Okay. Crude oil, $1,400. I mean, just straight down. This was your first indication to exit the trade. Okay. If you become a concierge client, if you've been grandfathered in, I'm happy to sit with you in a private go-to meeting. See, all CFRN partners and clients get something you don't get anywhere else. That's unlimited, one-on-one, personal mentoring, as long as you're an active partner. Other places promise it, but what I hear from our partners is that that promise, it gets fulfilled for a while, but once the check clears the bank, sometimes it's hard to get a return phone call or an email. Michael and I are the most available people in the world. All day long, I'm on the email, the phone, the Twitter, the Facebook, man, you name it, I'm spread thin, okay? My wife's had just about enough. I got to figure out how to clone myself or drum up the courage to hire an assistant. I'm torn. NQ 240, 500, 280. Okay. I can't wait to get off this video and go research the news and see the big drop's all about. Did we go to war? $250 on the Russell, $200 on the Russell. Gold, goodness gracious, $1,600. As long as we stay north of $1,300, oh, I'm a happy camper. Very happy. Very happy camper. Okay? All right. Now, inquiring minds want to know, where do I put my stop? Okay? I will teach you that. I will. Where do I put my target? I'll teach you that too. You see, the chart tells you where to put your stuff. It tells you where to put your stop. It tells you where to put your target. Okay? And you trail on the way to the target. Now, I believe with all of my heart that once you learn how to read a chart, everything else is just stuff, gravy, bonus. Just no cranberry sauce, please. When you understand what happened here and what happened here, a little freebie. when price hits a weekly trading zone, one of three things happens. That's it. There's only three things that can happen when price hits a weekly trading zone. Consolidation like this, rejection like this, or let's see if I can get another example. Oh, we got consolidation, consolidation. That's rejection, really. I wanted to show you a hot knife through butter. Right there. Okay? Hot knife through butter. Price slices through a zone like it's not even there. Now we do consolidate at the next zone. Then we spike, we overshoot the zone. Come back to this zone, we consolidate. And the zone that we sliced through, we come back and we touch it. Eventually. And consolidate there. It's kind of like an obsessive compulsive sort of thing. Today's the 28th. I'm on the 24th. Now, from this zone to this zone, it's 8 points. Look what happened. And from like 1430 on the 23rd to 1530 on the 24th, this is in 8 points. It goes zone to zone. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're sitting here right now working our way up to number 10. That's 80 S&P points. Zone to zone to zone to zone. Go back and look at the articles. If you go to emini.cfrn.net, and if you scroll and just keep scrolling until you think you can't scroll anymore, then call your spouse in and say, hey, will you scroll for me for a while? You'll get down to webinars, seminars, Q&A sessions where I deal specifically with the weekly trading zones. If you Google CFRN Weekly Trading Zones, that's going to help you. If you Google CFRN Concierge Trade Alerts, that's going to help you. You're going to see charts, you're going to see graphs, you're going to see videos, you're going to see all kinds of stuff. Okay? Now, once you've done all that and you're like totally excited, man, how do I get in on this? I've been buying all this stuff and cluttering up my screen, and it's insane. I want to do what those guys do. Well, we'd let it have you. We would. Okay. What you need to do is you need to type into your browser emini.cfrn.net. emini.cfrn.net. Okay? Got it? Find the little baseball guy and then look right above him. To go straight to the $1 for 5 days trial, click here. Okay, no automatic rollover. Includes access to the live trading room and etc. Now, as you can see, I mean, if I scroll way down. Now, a lot of these are just radio shows. Every day, the radio show. We stream live both on our site and also on YouTube. It's true. Audio and video. For years, it was just an audio podcast. We started podcasting back in 2005, before it was cool to podcast. See, I've done all that scrolling, and we're still in August. Just trying to load more stuff. But go back like 2 Thanksgivings ago. There's some really good stuff there. And if you figure out a shortcut on how to, like just somehow, because it's all on one page, that would be terrific. It really would. Hey, I just thought of something. I have categories. Oh, Search community. What if I typed in 08 28 2015? I don't know, honestly. Apparently nothing. How about 16? Apparently that doesn't work. Okay. I guess I didn't always put the date on everything. I'll try one more. Trust me, there's stuff there. If you scroll, you will find. Alright, enough of that. If you want to become a part of the community, okay, homepage. Hello. emini.cfrn.net. Okay. If you want to become a part of the community, get on the I don't think this puts you on our mailing list. I think you can sign up for our mailing list on the homepage. This is cool. I worked on this for quite a while. You can't hear the audio. Oh wait, because I'm the way I'm recording it tonight, you actually can hear the audio, which is totally super cool. I want it to blow up big though. I want big. Let's see. That's no good. We don't want that. What I was trying to do is make sure we were in the HD. Are we on HD? I guess 720p. That's as good as it gets, man. Okay. So let's go back to the beginning and enjoy this together. Ready? Got your speakers turned way up? Alright, let's rock it. And 3, 2, 1. Giddy up. Do you want to earn 500 plus per day? Want to start tomorrow? It's too late today. Doesn't matter who you are or what you do now. Survey says 70% of people hate their job. Steve Jobs said, find a job that you love and you'll never work another day in your life. E-mini Futures can give you the freedom you deserve. Time to focus on what's really important. Call us, find out what it means to love waking up. There we are, CFRN. Those are hired actors, where people become traders. They don't really work for us. Just go here, apply.cfrn.net, or join our live broadcast. Or you can call us at 949-423-6464. Or as the cool kids say, 949-42-E-Mini. That's right. 949-42-E-Mini. Now, I would probably be remiss, I'm not even sure what that means, if I didn't take you down YouTube lane. Okay, you ready? Yeah. Are you? Oh, I'm logged in. Okay, so it's going to look totally different when you go there. You won't see all this stuff. So, go to YouTube. Just youtube.com/CFRN. Okay? And then you can watch somewhere it says how many. I thought it did. Is it how many videos we have? Well, let's just say you can't watch them all. Okay? Now, One last thing, I'm going to let you go. While you're here, would you be so kind as to click the subscribe button? Would you? That would be totally awesome. Because we're sitting at 960 subscribers, and I really want to push that over 1,000. Would you? Could you? Okay. I trust that you will. Yeah, I don't know, give me a thumb up or a like or whatever else is people do. Okay, emini.cfrn.net. How many people we got over here? I thought it used to tell. I don't know. But I know we got well over 1,000 here. I probably got that many waiting to be approved. Hey guys, if you asked to join and you've got like some kind of hinky name and 1,050 members, and you don't have an actual picture of yourself up there, you could be, like sinister or something. Maybe you have an axe in your briefcase. I don't know. I want to prove you, okay? Send me a legitimate request with a picture and your real name, and I'll be happy to make you a part of the community, okay? Okay. Because we'd love to have you. Honest. Okay. Then I'm going to show you this while we're showing stuff. This also is going to look entirely different than if you went there yourself, because I'm the bigwig and the head cheese, and so I get the director's cut. And on your computer, it'll load in an instant. It'll just like the speed of sound, speed of light. That's right. Oh, come on. Really? Now, they tell me if you like this, follow this, and share this, it would be totally awesome, okay? That's what they tell me. So I'm just going to say, hey man, could you do that? Would you do that? Okay. I think we lost our dealy bob. It just won't go. What's up? Okay. Again with the scrolling and the scrolling and the scrolling. But there's a ton of stuff here on the Facebook page. Okay. I make a lot of videos. Oh, this is my son. Yeah.
Sir.
Do it again. No, that's not what I wanted.
Regarding country, sir.
See? That's my boy. Okay, enough of that. It gets old about the third time. So, like us, share us, all that over on that place, and then come to this place. We have 10,000 tweets. Huh, I feel like balloons and confetti should fall. We have 2,500 followers. I'm pretty sure we got more than 3 likes. I don't know what that's about. I think sometimes they don't get it quite right. That's pretty good, 2,500 followers. But you can follow us too. When you come to twitter.com/CFRN. Okay? Piece of cake. You can do it. And then we can we can tweet at each other. And I give out free trades. Let's see, where's the last free trade I give out? I guess it's been a couple days. By the way, on the show, we're going to start talking an awful lot about cryptocurrencies. We're not going to be, the Bitcoin channel or the Ethereum channel, or we're going to talk about the technology behind it all, because it's here to stay. I don't know who'll end up winning the Sony versus Betamax contest. I don't even know if it's like that. But here's what I do know. We're going to, once in our life, we're going to get in on the ground floor or something. Might as well be this. So, when you see the headline, like later tonight, if you Google E-mini futures and cryptocurrency daily news, that's the new name or the new title of the show that we're going to use on YouTube, which feeds all this other stuff. Okay? Let's see, on the 25th, we said sell the S&P 500 ESE Mini at 24.44. Trade it as far as you can. The target was 24.38. 2-point stop loss. I do that all the time. And so if you're following me, you can set it to pop up on your phone or on your desktop or, you know. And again, this is where you can scroll back and find those 3 years of the public beta test that went into the making of the concierge trade alerts. Just been an incredibly awesome adventure. I mean, really has. So on everyday's show, I recap from the night before. Okay? Now, if you're an active partner, all right, and you've sat through this whole video, I had somebody contact me tonight, and I told them I was going to make a short video, and for me, this is teeny tiny. So here's the deal. If you're a partner, if you recently became a partner, and you were not here when we gave people the opportunity to upgrade to grandfather status, okay? I know we had a deadline and a date and all of that, and we really meant it at the time, but, okay, I'm going to be honest. I have a spiritual commitment to build 3 houses for 3 widows, and I want to break ground by the end of the month, okay? So, you know, I'm working towards my goal, but I need to break ground on 3. Now, these widows, they're in Kenya, right across the border from the orphanage. My friend and pastor, he no longer lives here. He and his wife moved to Kenya. They have a boys' home. He goes out and he takes these boys off the street. They're homeless. They have no parents. Their parents died from AIDS. And they're glue sniffers. Okay, glue's pretty cheap. And the glue takes away the depression and it takes away the hunger pain. And that's what they survive on, is sniffing this glue. So, Coney, C-O-N-E-Y, that's his name, he takes them in, helps them to get healthy. Lanny cooks them great food, and Coney loves them back to health. He fills them with the Word of God, and when they're strong enough and ready, he takes them out to the job site. Now, they have no skills, so they start out as laborers, you know, hauling stuff around. But as time progresses, Coney is a master builder. Along with being a pastor, he built his own house from the ground up. Yeah. He was a builder before he became a pastor, eons ago. All right? So, this is so cool. I just love this story because it's just got God's fingerprints all over it. Takes the homeless glue-sniffing kids off the street. Helps them get well. Get off the glue. Get strong again. And in a country where there are no jobs, he takes them under his wing and he teaches them everything he knows about building. Now, he can pour the foundation, he can frame it, he can hang the sheetrock or drywall, He can roof it, he can plumb it, he can run the electricity. He can even plant the flowers in the front yard. So these kids are learning a trade so that when they finally leave the boys' home, they can build homes and earn a living in a country that has no jobs. And someday build a home for their own family when they find a wife. Because Coney's going to teach them, in a country where many men have many wives, he's going to teach them the importance of one man, one woman for life. He's been married 40-something years. My wife and I have been together 36. So they have a future. They get their head out of the glue bag. Someday, along with earning a good living, they'll be able to build a home for their own family. And Coney's got a huge property there, so they may even build it right on that property. I don't know. That's where we build the homes for the widows. Now, these widows live in a mud hut, okay? No locking door, no windows. The rebels will often come through in the middle of the night. So yeah, you heard me right. The rebels will come roaring through the village in the middle of the night. You know, and some of these rebels, you know, some of them are horrible, you know, older men, but some of them are like kids, 13 and 14, with machine guns and knives, and it's horrible. But anyway, they'll come into these widows' little mud huts. I mean, we're talking about an elderly woman, an older woman, right? Lost her husband to AIDS. I mean, and they do horrific things. Horrific. But when we build them a house, they have a door that locks, and we put really good locks on them. And if they're not being savaged in the middle of the night, the other things that can happen is when they go down to the local village to scavenge for food. I mean, we do our best to feed them, you know, as best we can. But often, you know, when supplies run low, these widows they'll pass on a meal so that the kids have enough to eat. I mean, it's just amazing the love that's there. I mean, the poverty and the disease and all the, man, there's so much love in the house. Sometimes I think we're going to blow the back door out. It's a line from a DC Talk song. But I digress. A home with a roof that doesn't leak. Windows where you can look out on a pretty day and see God's creation all around you. Oh, and did I mention a door with a big old honking lock? That and a solid core door. They can shoot their way in, I suppose, but they don't really want to draw that much attention to themselves, because then Coney be out there shooting at them. So anyway, now this, I mean, it's amazing that these kids are getting off the streets and off drugs and getting trained and getting jobs and have a future and hope and will have a family someday. That's awesome. Widows who thought they would end up living out the rest of their life in these little mud huts that do leak and don't have a door suddenly have a mansion. Jesus said, I go to prepare a place for you. In my Father's house there are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you. That's what he said. Jesus Christ, God, man, carpenter. It's in red if you have that kind of Bible. Anyway, so the boys, awesome. The widows, awesome. everything. Awesome, awesome, awesome. But here's this is the Christian Financial Radio Network. We build these homes for $500 a piece. Each one. Each one. $500. $500. That's everything. Tax, licensing, documentation, all those fees. Yeah. Everything. $500. $500. Now, the gentleman I told that I was going to make this short video for, I asked him, did he want we closed the door on the grandfather upgrade, but I got to thinking as I was writing him, and I said, because he wants to be an active partner again. And I said, well, of course you can become an active partner again. That's not an issue. I said, in fact, I have a spiritual commitment that I'm going to break ground on 3 more homes by the end of this month. And according to, I got 3 days. Okay? Now, here's what I told him. I don't know how in the world that got over there, but I guess I better leave it there or I'll mess something up. Anyway, here's what I told him. That if he decided to upgrade to grandfather status, I'm cracking the door. I hadn't even asked Michael. I hope he won't get too mad. I'm cracking the door just for a minute. And if you're an active partner and you decide to upgrade to grandfather status, and basically what that means is you get the concierge trade alerts every night for the rest of your life. And hopefully that's a very long time. Okay? Now, originally, the concierge trade alerts were $14.97 per quarter. After we had the previous grandfather upgrade, our advisors told us that any product comparable on the market right now, we were like a tenth of what other people were charging. I thought we were charging a pretty fair price, but our advisors said, you need to fix the price, okay? This is a business, remember? And you're trying to do stuff like build houses and whatnot. So, okay. So the price was raised to $24.97 per quarter. If you take the annual subscription, you get 1 quarter free. You pay for 3 quarters, you get a quarter free. If you're an active partner, if you email me and say, Dwayne, I watched that video, I listened to you, and you know what? I want to do the grandfather upgrade. I'm going to do the same thing for you that I'm going to do for the gentleman that emailed me tonight. Now, I've got a spiritual commitment just to build 3 more, break ground on 3 this month, okay? But I'm going to tell you something about Africa. You never run out of orphans, and you never run out of widows, okay? It's estimated there's 13 million orphans. We're taking care of 600. People always ask me, they go, well, what about the rest of them? I go, well, if I could help more, I would. We tried 900 and it broke our back. We didn't have the budget. So we do what we can do. But if I'm able to break ground on those 3 by the end of the month, I'm going to be so pumped. I'm going to want to build 10 next month. So any active partner who does not have grandfather status, email me, support@cfrn.net. And all you got to say is, I want to upgrade to grandfather. Boom, you're in. If, for whatever reason, you've allowed yourself to go from active to inactive status, okay, first step is you got to be an active partner, okay? There's a minimal monthly maintenance fee. You know what it is, so it's $75, okay? That's what the minimal monthly maintenance fee. So you got to be an active partner if you want to take advantage of the upgrade to grandfather, okay? Now, we need to do this quick before Michael takes me out behind a woodshed. No, I'm teasing. He's got a heart big as Texas, so I know he's not going to give me too much grief, I don't think. And we said the door was closed, that was it, man, no more. Because, well, for a lot of reasons, but I don't know. When I got that email from that guy tonight, I'm not going to give his name out, but something resonated in me. And I don't know. Maybe it's God, maybe it's my own vain imagination, quite frankly. Quite frankly, I think it's God. You know? You know how I'll find out? You know how I'll find out? Today's the 28th. If by midnight on the 31st, 30 days has September, April, June, and November, all the rest of 31. Yeah. If before midnight of the 31st of August, if we have broken ground on 3 more homes, then I'll know that this was a total God thing. And if we haven't, I'll know it was a total Dwayne thing. And what'll I do then? I guess I'll fall on my face and cry out. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to go. My wife made dinner, and I'm late to the table, and ooh, she does not like that. So I got to go apologize big time. And I got to tell her how important it was. And you know what? She's such a wonderful woman. I think she'll understand. I really do. And partners, this is why your concierge trade alerts are late tonight, okay? I'm sorry. I'm going to gobble down my dinner and boom. I've got them almost ready to go out, okay? So they're going to be a little late, but I think it's going to end up working in our favor because of the big gaps that we saw, okay? So hang in there with me. Oh, one last place I wanted to take you. iTunes. Christian Financial Radio Network. iTunes, CFRN, Christian Financial Radio Network. Right at the top. Okay. Now, if you have a Windows computer, you can put iTunes on your Windows computer. And obviously, if you have an iPhone or an iPad or any of the stuff, you can do that. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you, since I started adding video to the podcast, which makes it a vodcast, I haven't uploaded a lot of stuff to iTunes because it literally takes hours for the rendering to get it in a format acceptable by iTunes. I got to get back in the swing of things. The last one I uploaded was the interview I did with Tyler Evans, the CTO of Bitcoin Magazine and BTC Media. Before that was John Lee Dumas. He made $4 million in the last 2 years. with webinars. He and I are about to become really good friends. There's some more Bitcoin stuff, Emini or the Spider. There's some concierge trade alert stuff. So if you were to go there, and if you were to, I don't know, find it in your heart to leave a review, that would be awesome. You know, we had 75 reviews, 75 5-star reviews one night when I went to bed, and I woke up and we had 21. And it's like Apple doesn't have a phone number. It's like you can't call and go, hey, what happened? That's not how they do business. So, if you trade EDM futures for a living, this is your podcast. Dwayne Reeves, Michael Burton, Leslie, Mike Reedy, and my old co-host. Some days I almost miss him. Make up the CFRN team, informative, educational, and lots of fun every single day. These guys have been producing this show over 6 years. Wow, we're into our second decade now. Nobody stays in the trading business that long unless they really know what they're doing. If you tune in live, you can see the charts and ask questions during the broadcast. If you listen via podcast, you can email your questions. Every day brings another layer of knowledge to my trading journey. Please keep up the good work. I can't imagine a trading day without listening to you guys in the background. Thanks again. E.T. I don't know who E.T. is, but anyway, what do you do here? Do you follow us? Do you like us? You go to our website there. I think you have to download iTunes. Okay, but iTunes is a good thing to have because it gives you access to just a ton of stuff on your Windows computer. And then you can subscribe to the podcast. And then I think you can actually leave a review. They don't make it easy, do they? I guess not. Okay. Well, I've held you longer than I said I would, so I'm going to let you go. Okay? I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow morning in the live training room, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Be there or be square, and you don't even have to brush your hair. Okay? Okay.